Monster RX93.1 presents The Morning Rush. The Morning Rush, the country's favorite morning program on FM radio. Music, laughs, all the hot tea, and the hilarious top 10. Your hosts, Chico, Hazel, Markki, and Rica. The Morning Rush.
So, dream guests, we've been, thinking about it for so long, that hopefully we could have them over and, grace our show. So, and I heard this is the first time they're doing this Zoom thing.
I cannot.
So, we are such big fans, and hopefully everyone's super excited. We have Wil and Alodia!
Grabe, yung bangis ko, they're shaking.
Oh my gosh, hello guys!
Hello, guys!
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning! So is it true that this is really the first time you're doing this?
Yes, I just downloaded it 5 minutes before 9 a.m.
Oh my god! So nice to have you on the show. We've actually had Alodia before.
Yes.
But Wil, this is your first time on the Morning Rush. So welcome, and super excited. All of our listeners are super excited, and they just were beyond themselves when they found out that you guys were joining us. So how are you guys? How have you guys been doing?
Good.
Yeah, we've been spending a lot of time together, which is always very beneficial in a relationship. So yeah, we're doing all right.
But they say that this quarantine has been a major test for most relationships because usually you can go to work, you'll see each other at night, but with a quarantine you're together 24/7. Has it been challenging for you, or it's more like, yay, we get to spend all this time together?
It's a different feel, I guess. Like I've read articles about it. It's like
right,
has changed and whatnot. But I think what's important about a relationship is that you know how to ride the waves, or like how to adjust, I guess.
Okay, so being
For us,
together,
we have less problems when we're together. So
Okay, that's good.
So internally for us, I guess it works out more because she has more of me around.
No, okay, here's the thing. Can you each person gives 2 answers. What is the one good thing that you discovered about the other because of the quarantine, being together 24/7, and one not so good thing about the other that you discovered?
Sobrang mahirap kasi we've been together for 3 years, so parang we know each other so well already.
Like in the US, kasi we're together the whole time naman.
Oh,
That entire time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, our relationship started on a very weird circumstance where we were together 24/7 because she was taking care of me. So this isn't anything new. Like almost the first year of our relationship, we were together 24/7.
Every 2 weeks.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, every 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
And but
Every 2
as
weeks will be different.
But as content creators, is this more like you have more time? Can we assume that being quarantined gives you more time to create as opposed to you have to attend meetings
100%,
and events? Yeah.
Because without quarantine, we're running businesses.
Exactly.
We're doing
Exactly.
so many different
Events,
things
we
that people
travel,
don't see.
yeah.
We're traveling. We're not getting as much sleep because we're so busy, and when you're more tired, you can't create content. So the content creation has boosted mainly on, it all started with TikTok. Like, we're daily TikTokers now.
I just watched one of your
from
TikToks
daily vlogger
earlier.
to daily TikTok. And it's because it's easier, and we actually have time to do these skits together where we never before had time to do skits together because usually, usually she's tired after her streams or her travels or whatever. Now, the energy is just there, so we could do these skits. And we always wanted to do skits and all this stuff. Like, I have pages and pages of ideas over the years because how I work is every day I get a new idea and I write it on my never-ending list of stuff. And I always wanted to just chip away at that. Finally, we're able to do these fun videos together, you know.
But
Alodia wasn't too tired to set up the whole fort and I don't know that whole thing he set up. It was really romantic, so sweet.
But as content creators, do you prefer, I don't know, TikTok or YouTube? Do you have any, thoughts about that or both?
They're all different in their own sense. So it's nice to just like rotate, go around.
True.
Yeah.
And we've always valued having our fan base spread out everywhere because TikTok's kind of like the new Vine. And you know what happened with Vine is that there were people with millions and millions of followers, or like they had a huge fan base, and when Vine died, their career kind of just went with it.
Yeah.
And this happened like 4 years ago, and that was a big wake up call for us content creators, where it was like you really have to diversify your platform. So we really like to have our fan base on all platforms so that we're not reliant on one place.
Yeah, and sometimes we just want to make something short, and if we post it, for example, on YouTube, the algorithm will kill it. So I'm just glad TikTok is there.
Yeah, because TikTok, you could
it welcomed like a different format.
Like less effort content, which is something.
Ina-effort ko yung aking.
Yeah, we saw your background.
Yes.
Thanks.
Yes. Christian Clemente asks, sino makalat, si Wil or Alodia?
Oh.
Guys, I'm a cosplayer. Everything's
Oh, that we were talking about it earlier. Because you guys are like for example, you Alodia, you like games. You're a gamer, and then Will, we can imagine editing like anything. You're on your separate workstations, whatever it is that you do. Is there a time where like one is trying to get the attention of the other, but the other one is just too engrossed in whatever it is you're doing, whether it's a game or you're editing? Who tends to do that more?
Every day.
So
You know what? That's probably
who's the clingier one?
That's probably the biggest issue in I think most relationships probably. Yeah.
Because when I game, sometimes you just want to win, right? And then you keep saying, you say, oh, this last, and then that's like last 10 or something. We'll never end. Then you keep on saying, can you be finished now? Or
like, if I'm editing as well, I can't lose my train of thought. Lalo pag if I'm writing. Like I can't talk to anyone, and sometimes I can be in the editing cave for like 8 to 12 hours, and I don't want to talk to anyone because it'll ruin my train of thought. And you're not always creative. This is something people have to understand. So when you are creative, you have to utilize that creative capacity that's in your head at that specific moment, and that could last 8 to 12 hours. So don't talk to me. That's kind of my workflow. And it's not just Alodia, it's like my mom, my parents, when I'm at home in the States or whoever I'm around, I could seem like I'm ignoring someone. But yeah, that's definitely a thing in the creative space. Is just when you're doing something, you kind of just have to go all in and not be interrupted.
It's so interesting. It's like a science, right?
Yeah. So Will, do you have a video wherein you were editing and then somebody distracted you and then you continued editing and then it showed in the video that you lost your train of thought? Do you have a certain video in mind? Or is it always like that, like non-stop editing?
Yeah, so it used to be like that. Now I actually have an editor who helps me out because I have 2 channels. So I have a lot more help now in terms of that. I still edit every single video I do at the end of the day, for the most part. But my editor does help me a lot. I just always make sure to look over it, revise it, make it personal. But yeah, it's always like that, I guess.
Okay, so I was wondering because a lot of industry, especially like entertainment industry, you have TV people, movie people, radio people. Because of the quarantine, suddenly we're all taking a second look a second hard look at online, because nowadays you can't go on TV, on in movies, so everyone's exploring the online side. But for you guys, you were primarily online. You've had very strong online presences. But even for you guys, do you see a change in the way you do things because of this recent circumstance that we're now faced with? Like, was there a way, aside from TikTok, because I think that's something that you really got into because of the quarantine, but other than that, do you see things changing with your platform because of the quarantine?
No.
Kasi you're online, no?
Not so much. No.
Kasi I think a lot of people are really envying your positions right now, because you've been doing online for forever, and suddenly all these entertainment industries are like, how do we get online?
Actually, that was pretty cool, because I've been seeing also tweets from celebrities, not just here in the Philippines, those from the Western side, like Hollywood, like, how do you start streaming? I want to stream my games. Like, oh wow, we're recognized or something.
Exactly.
There have been a few people that have reached out to us, but this whole migration to online, that whole thing really started at the end of 2000. God, when did I do the TV show? It was in 2017 when vlogging wasn't much of a thing, and then I remember my videos started to blow up. That's when it was 2017 when a lot of artistas started messaging me and really trying to get on, because it was just the whole it was a new thing. So I mean, really, it was a couple years ago where that started to happen. Not so
because
much.
I know you support that, right, Will? I mean, both of you guys support that, people starting their own channels, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't take away the views from your channel, right? Because to be honest, it's one of my most favorite videos that you made, Will. It explained everything, that even though artistas are starting their own channel, it doesn't really take away from other people.
You did your research.
Yeah. No. It's really one of my favorites, because I never post on Facebook, but I posted that on my personal Facebook, and I explained stuff, and I said my piece. But
thank you so much. That video took me. That video took me 3 weeks to edit with another person.
3 weeks?
That video took 3 weeks. That was a proper deep dive, and oh my gosh, that was really hard. But yeah, that's really flattering that you saw that, because in that one video I explained my whole purpose and advocacy when I started vlogging back in 2015 or whatever was, as you saw in the video, I kind of foresee the future. I say, in 3 years or 2 or 3 years, the entire world is going to go digital. Artistas are going to take over the platform, and there's no one vlogging right now, but everyone's going to do it eventually. So I want to get everyone on YouTube, because at the time I was not making money as a YouTuber, as a daily vlogger, because we needed advertisers to come on the platform. And only until we had artistas and people that were respected and recognized by the mainstream, then the advertisers would follow them. So ultimately, the whole thing of that video was that, yes, when the artistas go online, everyone's online, it's recognized as a mainstream thing, and then that brings more advertisers, so everyone wins, because, it becomes a job.
Speaking of when you started, 4 years ago, a lot has happened, and, because the, online thingamajig has been relatively new. But I must say, it has been quite, the past couple of years, we've gone leaps and bounds when it comes to, how the internet is. But from content creators' point of view, how much more difficult is it now as opposed to when things were just starting? Because, I'm pretty sure you guys have experienced that people are now more everything will be under a microscope, and sometimes the most harmless video will have, why did you do this? I'm offended. So how much more different is it now in 2020 as when you started back in 2017? Is it more difficult? Are you more careful when you're coming up with content? Like, okay, how will people see this?
Well, 100%. Because back then, when I was daily vlogging, and you can't keep watching what you're doing. You upload.
Exactly,
Boom, next day you upload. And the internet has always been a crazy place. Let's not forget 3-4 years ago, there was still some craziness on the internet. But I think it really comes back to, since we've built a following, that's when things get really hard, because people become way more critical. And then rather than just serving up content to, to your fan base, it's getting spammed out to other people who don't necessarily watch your content or even want to watch your content. It just comes up on their page because it's trending or whatever. And then because of that, they feel the need to comment, and yeah, it can be
do you guys before either of you release a video or back or whatever, do you sit yourself down and then you watch it together and you're like, what do you think? Will people say something bad about this? Or
no,
do you
I just
post
see
it?
them online. Oh no, why did you post it?
No, that's the rules. I usually show her. I get pre-approval for everything. But sometimes I think, oh, this is fine. There's nothing wrong with this. There's nothing controversial. And then I post it, and then boom, it'll be like, they'll get mad at me because why did you show that one part that I was doing this? And
okay, I'm curious. If let's say you posted something, whether it's a tweet or a video or whatever, and it becomes controversial, do you delete it or do you just keep it there?
I think if it's there, the damage is done.
Right.
Well, I think it's a case-to-case basis.
Yeah,
I mean, if they have a point or we really knew there was something wrong about it, I mean, I guess the right thing to do is to take it down. Yeah.
But
But
I can see a lot of thought
Right?
bubbles, like, do I say it? Do I say it?
if we feel that we didn't do anything wrong, and at the end of the day, the content has a net benefit, has a net positive on the entirety of everyone who comes and watches it, then yeah, we'll leave it. It's fine. And I think till this day, I don't think I've ever deleted a video. I don't think that's ever
okay.
in my entire career. Yeah.
Are you a
I deleted my
believer?
first YouTube video because it sucks.
Oh, but that's different. But are you a believer of the saying that good publicity or bad publicity is still publicity?
Not at all. Not on our end. Not at all.
I was about to say.
No.
Because something that people don't realize is publicity comes with a lot of stress. So much stress. Yeah, I mean, it's as simple as that. And it can eat you up.
I remember Shane Dawson made a video once where he admitted that he actually made all those, racist statements before in his videos and bad jokes just so that people can watch it and get views. But now I think he thinks differently now.
That's even
Go.
That's even me before, well, kind of. And I'll dilute that to a certain point. When I was daily vlogging back in the day, my thumbnails and titles were crazy because I guess my marketing strategy was just get as many people to click my video as possible because I believed in my content and I thought that I had premium content that is good. So my thumbnail and titles were a bit outrageous before, which is not the same as today. So that's how I kind of can relate to that. And I've definitely developed into someone else that I'm way more careful, but it is a case-to-case basis again, because when you're starting out and you need to make a name or you need to, get people to know who you are, you do some crazy stuff, I think.
How about for you, Alodia? What'd you do before, that's different now?
When I started, I really never thought of being famous. I mean, I'm super shy. I'm an introvert. I just do what I do. It's just like I'm very lucky that people notice my work. So it's like I want to give that spotlight to other creators. That's why I try to like mentor or build other people up. So I'm not really. I only learn about those clickbaits and stuff from
Clickbait.
Well,
stuff like
stemming,
that.
stemming from that, John Santana asks, what have you learned from each other, creatively speaking?
Oh.
Oh,
okay.
interesting.
What have we learned from each other creatively speaking?
Creatively.
I taught her vlogging and YouTube in a nutshell.
No, I've been YouTubing before you came to the Philippines.
Vlogging.
Ooh, speaking of vlogs, I have a question. Is there a celebrity, if you could like have any celebrity start a vlog, who would you want to actually watch? Could be like an athlete or like, I don't know, an artista na wala pang vlog that you'd actually be interested to watch.
I'm a fan of comedians. So I don't know if Employ has a vlog, but I've been seeing his videos come up on TikTok. And the thing is with comedians, it's like second nature to them. It's like Alex Gonzaga. It's so minimal in terms of production. You just, like Alex Gonzaga is probably, one of the top vloggers today. And she just, puts her camera in her face and she just says whatever she says. And she just strings her jokes up to 10 minutes and calls that a vlog and it blows up. And most comedians can do that. They literally just follow themselves around and just speak, whatever. They just make jokes for 10 minutes. And that's what sells the most here in the Philippines, because people just want lighthearted comedy that make them forget about their problems or whatever else it is. It's all a form of escapism. And I actually understand that market, and I wish I could be as funny as all these comedians. That's kind of like what my second channel is. I have my main channel and then my vlog channel, which is kind of my daily life of just silly stuff. So going back to the question, I think all comedians kill it on vlogging. I think they just have to start. Because starting the hardest part.
It was very interesting to see your video when you guys went to Japan, and then watching Alex's video. It was like two different perspectives.
Night and day.
So yeah, so when you vlog, like let's say around comedians or people you look up to, do you get like a little, nervous, awkward, or what? What do you do?
Yeah, definitely. And I have been nervous on the vlog, and I've made some I've done some silly stuff. I've made a lot of gaffes, and I've caught it a lot when I meet certain people, certain artistas on the vlog, and it's so awkward and cringy. But what I've come to realize is I just own whatever I do. Because one of the most important things about a vlog is to be yourself and emulate yourself and show who you really are. So I go with it. It's cringy, and I punk myself on it, and I edit it to make it even more awkward and cringy. And people love it. People like when I met Bea Alonzo, or I'm trying to think, or Joey De Leon, my manager's dad, Jacko. It's like, I don't know. There's these moments that go viral because I say the stupidest thing, but at the end of the day, it's funny. And there's nothing better than to make fun of yourself rather than someone else.
You've been around like all around the world, meeting so many awesome celebrities. For each of you, who was that like one celebrity that you were most starstruck by? Like you couldn't believe you were there talking to them or interviewing them. Who was it for you? The ultimate, the apex of your celebrity experience.
It's every interview I do.
I like all of them, but like the most memorable one was still Zoe Solda.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It was weird because she was starstruck by you.
By you.
And it was my first interview, so I didn't know what to do. I was like shaking. So yeah.
Yeah, for me it was probably this was my last one, I think, too. Yeah, for me it was Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Wow.
Just because we do these interviews at the junkets, with these big celebrities, and a lot of them we'll see in the movies, and you're always starstruck. I'm always starstruck and terrified when I give these interviews, whether you can see it or not. But Arnold Schwarzenegger was different because literally I was like 4 or 5 years old, and I was watching him growing up, and he was like my childhood hero. I even have pictures of him, of me, and pictures of him or me with like figures of him at Universal Studios and all this stuff. So finally, when I came up and really sat down and talked with him, it was something different. It's really scary.
You were the real fanboy.
Let's ask for some tea. You don't have to name, okay? You don't have to name. But was there a negative experience with a super famous celebrity?
Ooh.
Just describe to us what happened, if there is. And you don't have to tell us who. Just like maybe you felt a little disappointed by that experience. Because I've had them, I've experienced it. But what about you guys?
For sure. For me, I go into everything without expectations. And my mindset, no one owes me anything. No one owes shit to me. So I will never get disappointed, because if they are rude or upset or something, I understand that they have their own personal problem, or they had a really bad day, or something happened to affect them to be rude to me, and I never take that personal. So I don't ever get upset with that one person. However, there was looking at my interviews.
Come on, you don't have to tell us.
Here we go.
This is what happened.
Jacko is shaking.
I don't like beating around the bush. This is my culture. We're straight up. We just say how it is. And now I'm looking in your background, Chico. I can see all these Avengers and everything. So
Okay, so that's a him.
That's it.
Okay.
Hi,
Jacko.
Quality check daw.
oh my god. My manager's gonna pull the string right now. He's watching us.
Jacko, I'll trade you a shiny Pokemon if you can respond.
Jacko Ninja.
All right, so ganito. I've done 4 interviews with 4 different Avengers. So it was one of the Avengers, and I didn't have an issue with Sha or anything.
Don't worry,
She
pronouns.
was really hard to interview.
We don't have pronouns.
Say them or they.
Them.
Them na lang or they.
Yeah, Sha's such a great word. Sha was really hard to interview for whatever reasons, and if you do your research, you can go through all of them and find out which one it is. This person had a lot of the interviewers. Everyone had troubles interviewing this person. But yeah, yun na lang. I'll just keep it at that. It was one of the Avengers that was pretty tough.
Alodia, can you DM it to me?
Mine is not as bad. I know that kasi one of them.
She's a cute dog.
Ayan,
Everyone's super nice to her when
They're
she
all
interviews
nice. I'm
them.
very happy that they're all very nice to me. But there's one, she or he, I'm not saying.
Okay.
But you said he first.
I know where this is going.
It's just tired. I know, like,
Oh, okay.
Sha is just tired. That's it.
So on the flip
You can see
side,
that they're doing it the whole day, so.
So on the flip side of it, have you experienced somebody posting naman na parang, oh my gosh, I'm so disappointed. I met Wil, I met Alodia, and they're so suplada, and I'm disappointed. They didn't say hi to me, or they didn't smile, or they didn't stop for a photo. Did you ever experience it yourself?
Yeah.
Of course.
I remember when I was starting out, like convention scene, Toycon in SM Mega Mall, not even in SMX. Like, I read some people online saying, ano ba yan si Alodia, di namamansin sa convention. And then I tell them, guys, I don't have my glasses during the convention. I really,
So you couldn't see.
I couldn't see really. I mean, I've gone through laser, but the grade came back. So one is nearsighted, one's farsighted now. So basta sobrang labo na mata ko. So it's just really that. I mean, I'm very accommodating naman. To the point na Wil is saying, you're too nice kasi I just accommodate people. And I mean, because why not? I mean, we're grateful to be here. It's because of them.
but it does come to a point like we just want to get our groceries, and something that can take 30 minutes will be over an hour because she'll just take photo with every single person and for me, how I kind of roll, because I used to do that for the first 3 years of my career. I'd stop and I would literally have a conversation with every single person, because that's what I hoped that someone would do with me when I talk with them. But now I guess we really have limited time, and I go to wherever I go with a mission. So if I'm going to buy groceries, if I'm going somewhere, I put my headphones in and I jog. So I jog from place to place. And if someone's gonna run me down and jog next to me, then yeah, I'll stop and have a conversation with them and talk to them. Because if they're gonna go do all that effort to go and run us down, then I'll do it. But I have never not taken a photo with someone that I'm aware of. If I didn't take a photo with someone, I probably just didn't see them or I didn't hear them. Yeah.
The Morning Rush. The Morning Rush. The landmark morning radio program on Philippine FM Radio. Winner of multiple KBP Golden Dove Awards for Best Radio Comedy Program. Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on Manila's hottest Monster RX93.1.